This is my associate Tyler Woodard. He's going to be helping me show you our trapping program that we have, and we have 3 different systems that I'm going to be explaining to you today. The first, we're going to be talking about the wireless trap system. It's a company out of Texas, and it's a wireless system to where everything is controlled by your cell phone or an app. So a little bit about the program. It's going to run to where you pay a certain monthly fee. We don't have that number yet, but if you're watching this video, you will know then. Today we're going to actually show you how each system works. So when you come to Idlewild, you will pick up the system and you will do everything on your own, watching the camera so you know how many pigs are coming, and then the final setup of the actual trap. So without any further information, I'm going to start the process. The first thing we're going to do with this wireless system is put our pole into the ground that will hold our wireless camera. A little bit more. All right. Oh gosh. You want to make sure that this gets all the way snug close to the ground so that it has a lot of support for that camera, because that camera is very expensive. Next process after this is we want to take this wireless camera that they just came out with. They previously had a different system, a much larger, a little bit harder to use, so we're glad that they came up with something different. In the space provided, and plug in the negative and the positive before we turn the switch on. Okay, now we turn the switch on. You will see a bunch of blue lights flashing. There's 3 different levels of flashing lights. The last level will tell you how much service you have, depending on how many times it blinks. And it goes all the way up to 4 or 5 bars. So right now, we are at 4 bars. So we have plenty of wireless speed to operate this camera. Once that's done, you close it up. Can you hold that for a second? Thank you. And lock it. And this will be on your system already. And this is the actual wireless component. Now, and this is the motion sensor. And there's different buttons to measure sensitivity. Right now I have it about a medium sensitivity level. And you can change it to see as fit. Make sure your ladder is nice and sturdy for safety reasons. Alright, now your camera is mounted. Make sure this is facing towards the base of your feeder. So now that this is set up, you want to attach the solar panel. The solar panel comes with 2 U-bolts. And we want to attach this to where the solar panel will be facing the south to get the best and the most amount of sun throughout the day. I'm going to hold that for 1 second. Yes. So you'll need a 1/2-inch socket. Today we're using an impact wrench, which is a lot easier and faster. We don't actually supply that. So we'll be using a U-bolt to attach the solar panel to the pole. And if you don't think that the U-bolt is necessary, you can use other things that you have. But that's what will be given to you. We want to snug this up. Alright. This system definitely needs the solar panel. Otherwise, you won't be able to trap for very long. But it can run a few days, maybe even a week, without sun. There is a label that says solar panel. All you have to do is match up the plug end and twist it on, and we are ready to go. All right. So before we did all this, we went out on the property and we found a location that was adequate for this. It was accessible. It had a lot of damage in the area, fresh damage. The landowner's probably previously seen pigs in that area, put a game camera up, knows how many are kind of coming already. But with this process, we'll move it to the feeder. So this is the first process of the trapping program that we do, and that you will do in the future. So we'll set the feeder up approximately 14 to 15 feet from the base of the camera. So we will take the 6-volt battery, we will plug the positive up and the negative, and it has solar panel clips so that this battery doesn't run down. So it's ready now. You'll want to go push the plus button once to get to your clock. You can push program, tell exactly what day it is, program again to save it, and then you'll change the actual time that you have. And you push program once more, and you'll move to feed 1, feed 2, feed 3. I usually do about 3 feed times. First feeder I like to do right after dark. The earlier you can get them coming, the better for everybody, because then you don't have to stay up all night long waiting for the pigs to actually come to the machine. So I put 3 feed times. I usually do 7 depending on what time of the year it is with daylight saving time. And then I'll do a 9, and then I'll do 1 at about 30 minutes before light in the morning, just to make sure there's corn on the ground for when the pigs actually come back. So after these two are linked up, I can go on my phone and talk to this camera. So there's an app that you'll have to, it's free of charge. It's called Wireless Traps. I get it on the App Store. And you can also look at goingfencing.com for any other information, tips, and things that they have for their specific system. So we can, for now, to see if the camera is facing the right angle, we'll take a picture, and you can do that automatically on the app. And you tell it to take a photo, it'll take a photo and it'll send it to your phone. And you can check the angle and make sure that you see the entire feeder, a little bit before it and a little bit behind it. At that point, you have finished this step in the process. So the next process takes anywhere from 3 to 4 days, where you get the pigs coming. They're used to this feeder as a regular food source. They recognize it almost as a dinner bell. And once that you get a certain amount of pigs coming, and you feel comfortable that that's about the amount of pigs that are in that area and that are going to come, you want to try to catch all those pigs in the future. So like I said, it'll take a few days, and once that happens and you get them coming on a regular basis, you'll want to come back, and now we're going to talk about actually setting up this system. So the first thing that we want to do is set up the gate, and that is the wireless trap gate. I'm going to get my tool, and we'll be moving along. This is the system that you'll get. It comes with about a 50-foot cable that, once we're almost done, we'll plug into the actual camera to make this thing drop with our cell phones. So now we will position this directly across from the camera so that you can see pigs on the outside waiting to come in, because you don't want to close that gate too soon. The pigs then will be educated, and then they'll be trap smart, and you're not going to catch them, and they'll have to be killed in other means. So we are looking at the photo now, and it's perfect. So that was the whole premise of taking the photo. So now we want to take one of these gates, we want to flip it up. You will receive 8 of these panels to make this system work. Okay. It's best to have level ground. These systems are a lot easier to set up when you're on level ground. We'll take a U-bolt, these will be given to you, and we will put this way, the U-bolt, like that. We'll have the ends coming out this way, and you'll slide that piece on, put the 1/2-inch nuts on, you'll do, and one on the bottom. For this video, we will show you how to do this, but most likely you'll be using a ratchet set. Here we go, above here. We'll make sure these are pretty snug, because when the hogs know that they're trapped, they're going to raise some cane and really hit these panels. Okay, after that's snug, we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Yeah. We'll pull it back a little bit. Alright. So these poles go on the inside of the trap. There you go. Yeah. Now that we have those very well put in there, we can raise this gate. You grab the handle, you slide it up, and you hit it, and it locks in, and it won't release until I tell that camera to. Or on the back side, there is a lever that you can hit to release it manually without having to use the camera itself. With this cable, it only has 50 feet, so you want to make sure that that pole with the camera is never further than 50 foot, and you want to do it less so that this cable can run along the top and all the way to the camera, and not across. That way this cable doesn't sag and an animal or a deer or any other non-target species gets in there and messes up the system. So now we'll set up the rest of the system. There's going to be six more panels, and they will be interlocked with rigid pipe. All this is going to be need to be done with 2 people, not only for safety, but these panels are actually really heavy. These panels have they're 2-sided. So one side has the metal on the front. So the side that has the metal on the front needs to be on the facing on the inside. So when the pigs hit it, it has this to support it. So like I said earlier, if the ground is uneven, these panels are a lot trickier to actually move and align right. So. Now we'll move to the other side, do the same thing we just did. So another thing we want to worry about is the system needs to be round. It can't have any 90-degree angles. And the reason is when the pigs get stressed out and trying to get out, they will actually climb on top of each other to escape these traps. That has never actually happened with our system because we never make any 90-degree angles. But it is very possible. We'll go to the other side. All right. 8 panels with the gate. It comes to about 30 foot in diameter. So with the research that we've seen, the bigger the trap and the bigger the opening of the gate, we have seen higher success rates in trapping. Okay. For this part of the process, we won't actually close these gates together. Because what we've seen is hogs like to have a clear line of sight. So getting them adjusted to this trap, once you put up these panels, they need to see straight through. So for maybe the next 5 or so days, we'll leave these open, let them come in. They're still coming to the feeder on a regular basis. And once that happens, for about 5 days, like I said, you can close these back gates and you're ready to trap. We'll show you now how to take this. We will spin. Take this. Go all the way around the trap. We'll keep it out of the reach of other animals. It could cause any issues, because if you do get a nick in this at any point of the trapping, it most likely will not work. So that is a key reason to keep it off the ground. So as you can see, we have plenty of this cord left. So you'll climb back up, unscrew the lock, plug it up, it has grooves. Alright. Okay. tighten it down. And the reason this camera is moving so much is because we haven't tightened it down because we weren't sure if it was ready yet. All right, so now Tyler will go back on to the app and we will show you, after plugging in this cord, that we can drop that gate with his cell phone. As you can see, it takes anywhere from 5 to 6 seconds, maybe sometimes it's a little faster if you have really good cell phone service. You'll want to tighten these screws down once you actually find your spot. We'll put our last pole in this gate so that later when you're ready to trap, you close these and put them there. And you'll want to zip tie this, keep this off the ground. And any other wires, you'll want to zip tie just to keep other animals, non-target species, from messing with them. One last thing, once you're ready to trap, really I should have done this before. Once you reset, you see there's a threshold here. This threshold can become a problem when you're trapping hogs, because anytime a hog has to step over something or touches metal like this on the ground, they get a little scared. They don't want to come into the trap. So what we usually do is we will take a shovel and just dig up some fresh ground and put it over this threshold. And then we'll take any native trees and plants, or maybe even invasives, to help get them out of the way as well. And we will line them up along the fence about 4 foot out from the gate. And then along this pole, so that it'll break up the squareness so that they don't see that and get a little wary. So once you break that up, the pigs are more inclined to actually come into your trap. And after you get the pigs coming, you have the back gates closed, and you go on your app and you close the trap. You cannot take the pigs out of this system alive. They have to be shot in here or donated to Idlewild. We are running preference trials and different trials with a toxicant. So we are always in need of live feral swine, and we do have a transporter's license, and we have a holding facility that has a license as well that was inspected and approved. So, and that's about it for this system. And if you have any questions, once you actually receive this system for that month, you can call Idlewild and ask for Tyler. And at this point, he can help you with pretty much all your problems. And if not, we can call this company directly and figure out what kind of issue it is. A tidbit of information that I can share with you is, over the years and other information that we've received from other trappers, it's been aware that if after you pick these or catch these pigs and you shoot them or dispatch them, you'll want to come in here and remove the feces. The reason that we remove the feces is when the hogs are carrying on in here and freaking out, they excrete pheromones into their feces. So if you go in there and scoop up the feces, your chances of catching more hogs in the same trap will increase a lot. I've caught pigs the next night after I cleaned up feces, and that's happened 15-20 times. So it definitely works. And it's probably a good idea if you wear rubber boots to keep human scent away. As you might, if you're a hunter, you know that scent plays a big role in it, and it's the same with hog trapping. That's all. Thanks. Behind me is the complete trap, just a better angle so that you can actually show. The back gate is still not closed, just to show you that that's a necessary part of this trapping process. Because trapping is a process and it's not an event. So once the pigs do come, you'll close the back gates. A few things that I didn't mention in the beginning is something you need to be aware of. All these systems that I'm going to be talking about, they need cell phone service, cell phone coverage of AT&T. So some of you, this system may not work for you. Most of these providers do use Verizon, but we only carry AT&T. I'm going to tell you a little bit how to get on the app now. The app is an app store, and it is called Cellgate. Cellgate is the actual airport security company that developed this system. You'll go onto the app, you'll put in your username and password, and the username and password will be the same across the board. The username will be Idlewild, I-D-L-E-W-I-L-D, and that's all lowercase, and the password is wireless traps, all one word, W-I-R-E-L-E-S-S-T-R-A-P-S. It'll be LSU AgCenter 1 and LSU AgCenter Trap 2. For today's presentation, we are using LSU Trap 1. So you will click LSU Trap 1, it'll bring you to a page that says camera or trap gate. So for purposes of what we're doing now, we'll go to the camera and we can manually take a photo at any time because there is a 15-minute delay in between motion censored activity. So when an animal comes in, it'll take a picture, it'll wait 15 more minutes, and if it finds motion again, it will send you another picture. There's also another section that says trap gate, and you click trap gate, and then it'll ask you, do you want to close the trap? And so I want to close the trap, and in about 4 or 5 seconds, the gate will drop, and you can log out. And once you put that gate back up, you're ready to trap again.